Hi, I'm Mark McPherson. Welcome to one of my videos in my series of videos where we take a look at what I call the 11 essential, fundamental, core, non-verbal or more specifically visual communication skills. In this video we're going to take a look at assigning attributes to people, places and objects. And like all the videos, it will be brief. We will not be covering every aspect of the skill, so please bear with us. I think the best way of explaining what is meant by assigning attributes to people, places and objects is to give some examples. So here goes. Let's say you're the MC at a conference and you said something like this. It's fantastic to see so many beautiful people here today. What you've done is you have assigned an attribute, the attribute of being beautiful, to people in the audience, and you've done it in two main ways. You've done it through hand movements and you've done it through the words that have come out your mouth. Sometimes you can simply do it by actions and sometimes just by words. But in the case of the example I've just given you, you did it both ways. Let me give you a few other examples. I was in a workshop about 20 years ago. I was a participant in a workshop and the workshop was on dealing with difficult people. And the presenter said something like this. Dealing with difficult people is quite a problem. Difficult people can wear you down. Difficult people lower morale. Difficult people take up a lot of your time. They cause stress. Now, what you can see there is the presenter doing this with their hand. Like it or not, the presenter was assigning an attribute of difficult to either a group of people or a particular person in the audience. I'm sure they didn't mean to do it. Well, I hope they didn't mean to do it. But nonetheless, they assigned an attribute. So we need to be very, very careful. What we want to do is enhance the quality of our communication, and that means if we're going to assign attributes, we need to do it deliberately. We need to take control of what attributes we assign to what people, what places and what objects. I'll give you another example. This was not one that I witnessed, but someone told me they were at an obesity conference, a conference on obesity. And one of the presenters was talking like this every now and then using their hands. I guess people don't know quite what to do with their hands sometimes. They're using their hands. They're talking about people who were overweight, people who needed to do something about their weight problem, whatever they said. But just like the presenter talking about difficult people, they were using their hands and inadvertently, hopefully accidentally, they were assigning particular attributes to people in the audience, and it's potentially embarrassing. These things can come back to bite us. So again, if we're going to assign, and we will do it accidentally if we're not careful, we need to make sure it is deliberate. We need to make sure it's meaningful and it's deliberate. We need to take control. So here's a few other quick examples. I often give the example, and I think I've given it a few times in this series of videos, of around about 20 years ago when I was a manager in an organisation. I had to deal with somebody, I had to talk to somebody who had made some mistakes on their timesheet. Now, what I wanted was the best possible outcome. The best possible outcome was simply just get the person to correct the mistakes and not make them again. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to bawl the person out or anything like that. So what the problem was with the timesheet, not with the person. So what I did was I talked about the timesheet being the problem. This timesheet is a problem. So my eyes, my hands, my words all talked about the timesheet being the problem. I had assigned deliberately bad, if you like, bad things, a problem to this timesheet, not to their behaviour. I could have, but in this case, I don't think it was appropriate to do so. They were a good person, they had worked hard, they'd simply stuffed something up, if you like. So I assigned this was the problem. I could have said to them that they had done something wrong and assigned bad, if you like, or poor behaviour to them. And sometimes that may well be appropriate. So let's leave it there. We can assign attributes, positive, neutral, negative, good, neutral, bad, to people, places and objects, and we need to be very careful about it, because if we're not, we can accidentally do something that we may not be happy with later. Make sure assigning attributes is deliberate and meaningful. Let's leave it there. All the very best to you, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. Please look after yourselves, look after your friends and family, and I do hope to chat to you soon. If you want to chat to me, it's easy. Just go to the contact page of my website, for example. Lots of ways of getting in contact with me there. See you later.